Hello, everybody. Welcome to Backfield Breakdown. This is the podcast where we do not follow a schedule. That is my fault. I am Justin, well, right now he's below me, but you know what? When I edit, he'll be to the side of me. That is Blake. How you doing, Blake?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm shocked, man. The amount of news today, the amount of news just in 10 hours
It's a
is
lot.
absolutely insane. But first of all,
I have drank the liquor.
what are you drinking tonight? And don't tell me it is that damn tastes like chicken vodka.
No, I don't have one of the cans on me, but it is another Texas original. I think it's just called Austin Cider Company. I could be
Oh,
wrong, but I can go get a can later or something. You can clip that in.
perfect. Austin Cider Company, Blake is a fan.
It's
Sponsor us, please.
the blood orange is, and I'm not even a cider guy. I don't even really like ciders, but the blood orange cider is great.
That does not sound like it's for me because I am drinking Tropic Force Voodoo Ranger, one of my favorites, also fairly cheap at my local grocery store.
Sponsor me.
Hey, Voodoo Ranger, I have met one of your people from New Belgium once. Um I don't know if you remember. Sponsor me. Thanks.
Mm.
I know you got some stats, I know all that, but I just want to cover some trades really quick, man. Some
Yeah, dude,
trades, some
absolutely.
big news.
Tons going
Uh
on.
you know what? Big news, just because I want to get it the hell out of the way. The Tom Brady. Tom Brady officially a part owner of the Raiders after the NFL approves it. Um, Too bad it didn't come sooner because maybe Devontae would still be there.
I don't know
I
if that would have made him stay, honestly.
I don't know. I'm looking at a picture of the owner, the Tom Brady and the owner, and he is giggling like a little schoolgirl, and he's got that hair, man.
God, the creepiest dude
He's
ever.
creepy,
I mean,
creepy. But you know what? He's no Deshaun Watson, so he's got
no.
that on him.
Was it he said something about his girlfriend who's beautiful and like early 30s,
Oh,
and
geez.
he claims that she didn't even know how much money I had when she met me. And it's like, dude, come on. You're not fooling anybody.
Oh, wow.
People would
He
respect him
knew.
so much more if he was just like, yeah, I got money. Ladies like it.
Yep. There are two big trades. Well, two in a trade that is making the college try. I'll start with the college try. I think it's a big deal. Texans trade Cam Akers to the Vikings. That rings a little bit of an alarm bell for me because of Aaron Jones. Now, because I have him on fantasy, that's really the only reason I know because I don't watch a lot of Vikings games, even though they are fantastic. I know he's questionable. And I know when I read that little thing, it's touch and go right now with him, and that is scary. We talked about it an episode ago, I believe, and you didn't have a lot to touch on, but that's telling
Cam Akers, I
is
mean,
good.
Houston, I mean, he is good. LA, he had a lot of injuries with LA. He missed a whole season, I think, before in like preseason he got injured and missed that whole season.
Yeah, he
Um,
did.
Kind of just got washed away, and Houston just had such a good run. They have everyone on offense is a friggin' weapon for them to the
Yeah,
point where Cam they didn't even use Cam Akers. I think the Vikings could use him. I think Aaron Jones has done great, but it doesn't hurt to have another running back.
no, no, it doesn't. I don't even know who they had behind him.
I'm not sure either.
He will probably get some snaps, regardless of injured or
Yeah,
not. I think that maybe this is a thing where, yeah, Aaron Jones is touch and go, but Cam Akers takes a lot of workload off of him.
absolutely. I think you'll see. I mean, I was looking at the Lions and just how Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, and those
Yeah.
are two. That's a good running back right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
or two good backs, anyways. And I can see it. And they split the load almost even every game. It's usually like each of them are taking between 15 and 19 snaps a game, and they're both putting up numbers. I can see it going a lot like that.
I really
Yeah.
hope so. I like the Vikings. Definitely apparent now that their defense carries them. But that's okay. I'll get to the big one in a minute. Yeah. Amari Cooper traded from the
Yes.
Cleveland Browns to the Bills. I believe it's a couple of picks.
I'm not sure even what it was for.
I was listening to Pat McAfee earlier, and he mentioned what the trade was for, and it was for picks. And also he mentioned how little Amari Cooper makes this season. That's a divisional team now
Mhm.
because they're already doing fantastic, and it scares me. They've got a good running back. They've got a good quarterback who can also run like a running back. And now he's got another Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
You saw what he did in
Doesn't
Dallas.
love him. Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't love Amari Cooper?
How much time have we been recording? Okay, good. I won't get flagged for this. Fuck you, Jerry Jones. You shouldn't have gotten rid of him. All right. And the big one. The big
Oh
one, the
man.
big one. We have all found out recently, just today, in fact, that it is not the GM of the Jets making decisions anymore. It is Mr. Rogers. And no, not the wonderful children's show fella. It is Aaron Rodgers making a trade for Devontae
Much.
Adams. This, honestly, everybody else that I've seen has said, oh, it looks really good for the Jets. No, it doesn't. It looks good for the Raiders. Because you've
Mhm.
got a guy I believe his name is Trey Tucker, over in Las Vegas, who is good. He's a deep threat. And he's young-ish, I think. I don't know. I don't follow the Ravens. I just know he's there. Um,
Raiders.
Raiders, sorry.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I'm getting emotional. I'm getting
You good.
emotional about this. I think this is better for the Raiders. They get one conditional third round pick that can turn into a second if blank blank and blank. I don't know. I don't want to say anything else about it because guess what? There's going to be hopefully better trades coming up. And well, I mean, you see me, I'm a mess. Jeez. So you know what? Why don't you tell us about your top five?
A top 5 list? You want to go there already?
We're going there. We're going there
Oh,
right now. We'll get
shit.
into some
Okay.
games soon.
So we're gonna talk about baseball for a second,
All
and
right.
not in a good way. I hate baseball. So this
What
is
about
the top 5
what about
things.
Shohei?
He's the only thing saving baseball.
Okay. All
He's
right.
not even on the
Cool.
list. Don't
Cool.
worry. He's
Great.
the only good thing about baseball. Top 5 things I hate about baseball. Number 5, 162 games per season.
Yes.
Fuck that. Who's got time for that? That's ridiculous.
I tell you what, as a fan of MLB The Show, I certainly don't.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, fuck off.
There's no crying in baseball.
Okay, number 4, the fans can technically interact.
Mm.
You
don't
know,
like
if
that
it's
part?
a pop, no. Are you
Why?
kidding me? Why would I want fans to be able to control the outcome of any game ever, let alone
They're
like a
not
World
control.
Series?
Oh, they're not controlling
The
the
only
outcome of
thing
the game.
they
It's
can
that
kind of
those
do.
it's those grown men get up in their feelings when someone's like, Mike Trout, you suck.
Okay, what I'm talking about mostly is like a home run. They can rob a home run. Say you got center fielder who's right there. He's probably going to get it.
Yeah.
Then this fan comes swooping down and grabs it.
Okay. All
Am I
right.
wrong? I could be wrong. That may not be a thing, but I'm pretty sure that's a thing, and that's ridiculous to me. How the
Oh no, it is
imagine-
a thing. It is a thing. But okay. All right.
fans can play? That's ridiculous. I don't want ever to be a chance that the Ravens could lose because some fucking fan has enough time to run on the field and block a punt or something stupid like that, or a field goal or an extra point. Imagine that. That's ridiculous. That's
Man, I don't think that the stadiums are set up well enough for a fan to do that.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying, like, to me, that's what I'm comparing it to.
Well, yeah, no, I know. I'm just like, oh,
Game-winning
that's
field
interesting.
goal. Oh, could be a game-winning home run. Something like stupid. I don't know.
I'm
Fuck it.
running
That's
on the
ridiculous.
field. Game-winning field goal. I'm running on the field.
Yeah. Number 3. This one could spark some debate. I think that anyone who played before like 1985 would do absolutely terrible in this current league. Old players would suck.
Did you say before 85?
I'm just throwing a number out there. I just mean like old school baseball, especially like 20s and 30s or however old the league is, whatever Babe Ruth's era, they would all be so bad at modern day baseball.
I hate it that I'm a content person who shouts out other content people all the time. I like to shout out, but not all the time. Baseball doesn't exist. They did a video about this.
Terrible sport. Come on. What are we doing?
You'd actually love that channel, man. They do some crazy videos, kind of covering the question that you'd be saying. And yeah, the proof is in the pudding that the stats don't reflect. But I would say Reggie Jackson, Randy Johnson, Jackie Robinson too.
I'm talking more, I guess, before the color bear. Like again, Babe Ruth era. I was looking up.
I don't think
stats,
Babe
I
Ruth
guess.
would be very good.
No.
I think he'd be a good closer, and I think that he would succeed today because of the Shohei rule. But I do not think that Babe Ruth would be the great Bambino. He'd be good. He'd be a perennial award winner, but he would certainly not be the GOAT, as a lot of people say he is.
Which you could break that down into every sport.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like skateboarding is another one that comes to mind. Like skating is just a completely different ball game. And a lot of people will say, like, well, yeah, if they grew up at the same, like, let's say Babe Ruth grew up the same exact time as Shohei, then he would have adapted just as much as Shohei.
Yeah, he would have. Yep.
Maybe. We can't just assume that.
All right, so no, we can't. I don't want to assume you don't know this, but I'm going to assume that you don't know this. Shohei was not allowed to pitch this year because he had surgery or something like that. I don't know how he's able to hit. That's where my knowledge kind of loses it. Like, what surgery are you getting where you can hit but not throw?
Shoulder injury or something like that.
So Shohei was a DH this year.
Yeah. Still crushing it.
No DH has ever been the runaway for MVP. Mm-hmm. And I think he might be the first. 50 runs.
Mm-hmm. He is the first.
50 stolen bases. Shohei Ohtani is the 50-50 club.
He is baseball.
Babe Ruth weighed more than him. He wasn't as fast.
He smoked cigars.
He smoked cigars.
I mean, he drank. I mean, what are
what does Shohei have against him? Having a person, trusting a person who really mismanaged that guy's money. Go.
All right, number 2. Sort of a question, but also I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Can you name another sport that uses imaginary lines?
Now, are you strictly talking batter's box?
Talking about the strike zone, which sort of imaginary lines, knees and shoulders, right? If I'm not mistaken.
So
it's ridiculous.
Yes and no. So it is imaginary, but also it's imaginary. It's umpire dependent. Each ump has their own strike zone. They umpire in a way in which, if they umpire your games enough, you'll know, oh, this umpire, if I'm pitching, will say it's a strike if it's high and to the outside on the right. If it's too high and to the outside, just like an inch or two outside of the actual strike zone, yeah, but I don't know how they kind of, that's almost like when you're cutting out on construction paper. They give you like directions on how to do it. That's almost like what the strike zone is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so that brings me to number 1, umpires. Why are we still using these geriatric fucks who can't see to determine game outcomes? In a sense, they're determining the whole game start to finish with just their eyes in an imaginary box.
Honestly, I think that they're still doing it like this for entertainment value. Because what else does baseball have?
Jesus.
You have the home run, because there are no rules in baseball, actual written rules about taunting, about flipping your bat. They're almost unwritten rules.
Hmm.
That's why people get targeted. They get hit with pitches. Bryce Young is a great example. That boy he got hit with pitches so much. He's flipping his bat, staring down the fucking pitcher. It is, it's entertainment value. Those managers come out who are also, some of them are quite old. They're
Very
yelling at
old.
that umpire. They're like, you could see spit flying out of their mouth, and they're, you something something something, you piece of shit. And he's all like, you know what, you're out. He does that thing with his hands, and he's
And
just
they're
like,
like, yeah, I wasn't
get
doing
the hell out
anything.
of here.
I was doing nothing. The managers
Yeah,
do nothing. The managers
yeah,
do nothing. The managers
yeah.
do nothing. They just stand there and watch the game and say, hey, you should have done this after it happened.
Yeah,
What does a manager do in baseball? Honestly, what the
I'm
fuck do
not
they do?
sure what a manager does. I'm wondering if a manager is the person who basically
Also, just call a
sets
coach. Just fucking
sets
call a
lineups
coach. What are you
and
doing
pitching
in baseball?
rotations, maybe. Well, I know that the
Which is
the
all pre-decided.
yeah, well, the
Decide
pitcher
that all during the
can
game.
call a meeting and call someone. They can call the manager to come to the mound.
Yeah.
I
Usually it's
don't.
just the catcher, but
Yeah, I don't
or the
understand it
manager
either.
tells him, "Hey, I'm coming out to the mound because you're sucking right now."
Yeah.
So
Well, the manager does make the decision that, hey, it's time for you to get the hell out of here, because most pitchers don't want to leave the game. You want to go as long as you can. You
yeah,
want to be that guy
absolutely.
who can pitch a full game, and then after your rest period comes back and pitches another full game.
Hmm. Also, one last thing that honorable mention: stop taking pitchers out if they're on track for a perfect game. Stop doing it.
Absolutely agree.
Let them have a chance.
Yep.
Do not take them out until, even if it's when or if they throw their first hit, even if it's a single. After 7 innings, oh, he finally threw a single. Then take him out.
I'm okay with it.
Give him a chance.
I'm okay with it when it comes to the ninth or late in the eighth. If your guy gives up his first hit late in the eighth, even in the middle, or early in the ninth, yeah, immediately pull him. In fact, start warming up the closer in the seventh.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're giving up, if you are being immaculate, you're doing an average of 2 strikeouts per inning,
Mm-hmm.
and you give up one hit in the sixth, no, it is not time. It's not time to take him out, because you have to. It's like everything is tracked now. Track is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you get numbers in the fucking dugout about velocity or whatever. Track the velocity. I don't know. I feel like this has taken your top five and like turned it into a whole talking point. I love it. I love it.
I figured it would spark some discussion. But yeah, that's my top
Good
five.
discussion. That's a good top
I
five.
don't like baseball. I don't hate baseball. I'll watch it. Shohei, Vladimir Guerrero.
Have you ever been to a
There's
game?
some player. Yeah, I've been to a Red Sox game.
That's where I feel like that's where it's different.
I mean, it's obviously fun when you're there, but I
And it
can't stand
feels like
watching it on TV. And it
it
just
feels like it takes less
I don't
time.
care. It does take when you're there. It goes by
Yeah.
faster.
I would like you to start out with
Yeah.
a game you want to talk about, because I know you're itching to talk about your Ravens.
Lamar is still, he's got to be up there in top 5 for MVP. 20 for 26, another 300-yard game. He had 323 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have 1 interception on the very first drive. Obviously didn't affect the game at all. If you're going to have an interception, do it on the first drive.
You got those
Also,
jitters out early.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I mean, fucking, yeah, Jesus. Rushed for another 40-something yards. Derrick Henry, I think he's up to 700-something yards. Low 700 yards.
What?
Yeah. And that's
Wow. Low 700s.
He's on track for a 2,000-yard season.
But on this team, when you have Lamar Jackson under center, who already rushes for average of 50 per game, probably this
He's
season.
right around there.
See, the dog agrees with me too.
Talking to you. That's the old lady who's dead. Hey. Zay Flowers has had 2 good games. 9 receptions, 132 yards.
Zay Flowers lost me $44.
How? He had such a good game.
He didn't score a touchdown.
Oh, but he had a great game.
I know he did. I thought this was going to be the week, man. I really thought this was going to be the week that he got that touchdown, which is why I bet $5 on the game, but whatever.
Yeah, what a good game, though. Daniels still did good. He was 24 for 35, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Do you happen to have Derrick Henry's stats pulled up for this game?
He had 24 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
And 5.5 on average. I just wanted you to say that for people listening because, wow. He
might be the first in a long time. That's not the first quarterback to get MVP. But even if he doesn't get MVP, he has to get Offensive Player of the Year, which is kind of their go around because everyone knows the MVP is going to be a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, Washington, if you're going to lose, that's the best way to lose. I mean, they played a great game still.
What do you think about the young guy coming back from injury, Noah Brown, and contributing like he did?
I mean, he did good. Austin Eckler, I'm waiting to get his jersey up there. He's one of my favorites.
Are you going to get the Chargers or the Washington?
I like to have whatever team they're playing on. I bought this Keenan Allen jersey, and then 3 weeks later, he left the Chargers, and I was like, fuck.
Hey, well, you know what? You should be happy that this week, and I'm going to talk about them in a little bit, but Keenan Allen caught his touchdown.
He got one. He
got one.
Keenan Allen's back.
That bald head of his, it's still on track. I should know. I got a bald head too.
But okay, so speaking of the Ravens and the Commanders, I have a question for you.
You talking to me?
So first of all, I want to know, in your opinion, is 4-2 a good record this season?
Do you expect me to talk?
This season.
That's what I said. You always contradict me.
I will expand on that, not with what I'm saying, but with the timeline, and say 4-2 is a good record at this point in the year in the last 3 seasons.
Okay, so I am going to list off 3 teams that are 4-2, and then
are you counting both that are listed here because both the Commanders and the Ravens are 4-2?
Let me get to it.
Okay,
Get to it.
all right.
So these 4 teams are 4-2.
Okay,
The Bears, the Packers, the Bucks, and the Steelers. So now is 4-2 a good record this season?
Still, yes, because the NFL has shifted into what it was in the 90s, a pound it down your throat league and a defensive league. You've seen the Bears and their defense. You've seen, and no, people, if you're watching this or listening to this and you're like, the Bears aren't ranked well in fantasy. I'm not talking about fantasy. Anyways, the Bears and their defense, they've won them some games because Caleb Williams, and I will get to him in a little bit because, again, I'm wrong. He wasn't performing well.
Not at first.
So the defense has won them games. The Vikings, you've seen their defense pull Sam Darnold out of a tough spot. 4-2 is a really good record.
So here's another 4 teams that are also 4-2. Commanders, Ravens, Falcons, and the Bills.
3 of those 4 teams, I believe, are guaranteed playoff spots. With the Commanders being one that's not a guarantee. It's a possibility.
What about the Falcons?
The Falcons are probably playoff bound. Yeah. Even the Commanders could. This is such a weird season, man.
It's honestly, it's like we just watched the preseason. I feel like the next 4 or 5 games are really going to determine.
Yes. Here's a really crazy thing. Let me name you 2 teams here that are 3-3. The Seattle Seahawks, who just became 3-3, and the San Francisco 49ers, who also just became 3-3.
Those are two sneaky good teams. I mean,
Geno Smith has been
San
playing.
Francisco's not really sneaky. They're a good team.
So in this game, they showed that they're not sneaky good, that they're just good because Debo, three catches for 102, and he gets a touchdown. And then your boy, George Kittle, gets two touchdowns. And then their defense, of course, did well. One of my top. And then, even though they lost, Geno Smith, never mind. Moving on. Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett showed he still has it. He outperformed both Metcalf and Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he grabbed a touchdown and he got 65 yards, 4 catches. Awesome. Everybody just forget what I said about Geno. The other games, Geno has played well. Brock looks comfortable. I watched it. Brock looks comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know who the hell Isaac, can't pronounce his last name. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he's good. 10 carries, 99 yards.
It's pretty good.
But then Jordan Mason, 9 carries for 73. I am
That's
really
pretty good.
sorry that I'm just taking over this whole
No.
conversation.
The only thing I'm going to add,
Add it, please.
So there's 4 teams above that, and that's only the Houston, the Chiefs, Vikings, and the Lions. I feel like the Lions, nobody's talked about that much this season. Chiefs and Vikings, I believe, are 5-0. Texans and Lions are 4-1. And Jared Goff is not slowing down at all this season.
Nope.
I mean, they're running a lot, but he's still putting up. He had 315 yards with 18 completion. He was 18 for 25. He's putting up crazy percentages.
And he caught a touchdown this year. Can you tell me how Amon-Ra's doing?
He's doing pretty good. I didn't write down any of his stats, but I believe he got a touchdown this last game.
Amon-Ra got a touchdown, and then Sam Laporta
that was the other one.
52-yarder. One catch, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. And
you want to talk about
Jameson Williams?
Either McCarthy getting fired or how terrible Dak did.
Wait, did I not hear about that?
No. It hasn't happened yet, but come on. You know what's coming.
So there's video on the sideline of McCarthy mouthing wow after a touchdown by the other team.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, their defense, their 2 best defenders are out, but you know that it's the same with Salah. You know, they've already paid Dak, they've already paid CD. They're gonna fire the head coach.
I'm giving you a little insight because as a Cowboys fan, what have I said, everybody? Week 6, it's when we go to our other team. Hey, guess what happened? 47-9. Jerry Jones has owned that team for so many years. This is the first time in the Jerry Jones era that we have lost by over 30 at home. Okay? This is when I go watch Brock Purdy go win the damn Super Bowl. Anyways, I will give you some damn insight. Years and years and years ago when Sean Lee played, he was the captain of the defense. He was the glue. And you know what happened? They were mediocre back then. But you know what happened when Sean Lee went out? They were still mediocre. They didn't fall at all. And now they're falling so bad. If Micah Parsons wasn't out, the Lions would not have gotten 47 points. I'm going to have thoughts about this for a while.
You should. So you think it'll be Vrabel or Belichick that takes McCarthy's job?
That is dependent on Jerry Jones. Because
happy birthday to him, by the way.
What?
He lost. It was his birthday when they lost that
match.
No,
no, I don't want him to have a happy birthday. God. It is really up to the owner. You saw it with the Jets. The owner named the interim coach. And it's looking like after the game, even though they lost, the camaraderie on the sidelines was good. They're probably keeping him for the rest of the year.
You think so?
I will give Jerry one thing. That old wrinkly man does not like to wait. He doesn't like to wait at all. He just doesn't like spending a lot of money.
Have you seen their schedule for the next 5 weeks?
Man, I stopped paying attention to their schedule 2 weeks ago.
It's not looking good for them.
I know it's not looking good.
Do you keep the same argument if they're 3-8?
What argument?
That McCarthy's going to stay for the whole year?
No, I don't think McCarthy's staying for the whole year. What I'm saying is like it's owner dependent. While the Jets owner is naming the interim head coach, and it doesn't look like he's going to they're naming anybody as the head coach anytime soon. I don't think Jerry Jones can wait. That's the one thing I give him. He does not wait as an owner. He says disrespectful shit while he does what he gets done. Oh, the best things you get, you pay too much for. You know what? Fuck you. Anyways, so if the price is right for whoever he brings in, yeah, they'll be the head coach. If that's Bill, oh God, I hope it's Bill. You can at least finish out the season with an even record, and you can get that defense on track. Moving on a little bit. I would like to just take a moment to say it is week 6. I said I would decide if Caleb Williams is a bust by week 6. I was wrong. 23 for 29. 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, leading them to a 35-16 victory in London against the Jaguars, a game which I had the Jaguars winning. I'm sorry, everybody, I was wrong. He's not better than Jaden Daniels, but he is not a bust.
He's getting there. I thought he was a bust too. Still hasn't proven me wrong to an extent, I guess. I don't think he's a bust anymore. I don't. With the offense that he has, any quarterback should do good in the situation that he's in.
I will give him this shred of criticism. Your second best guy on the outside got 4 catches for 20.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore. I don't watch Bears games, so maybe he's a slot receiver, but like you signed him for big money a couple seasons ago. I will say Cole Kmet, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And then Keenan Allen, not just one, but that second touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good for him. So week 7 coming down the pipeline. We are pretty far into the season. There's some telling signs that some teams need to, ring that bell. A couple teams already have. We're going to do some quick fire predictions. Broncos and Saints. I personally have the Broncos winning. Who do you have?
Broncos.
Patriots and Jaguars. I want Trevor Lawrence and that hair to bounce back. Jaguars.
I got Jaguars.
Lions at Vikings. Who do you have?
It's a good one. Lions.
Yeah, same, actually. I agree. Titans and Bills. I mean, the Bills, they're at home. The Titans are hot garbage. The Bills are at home.
I think I'm going to go Bills on that one too.
Yeah. Dolphins and Colts. I would say I don't care unless Jonathan Taylor plays.
I think they'll win if Flacco plays. I think they'll lose if Anthony Richards plays.
So the coach came out and said Anthony Richardson is the definitive starter if he's healthy. Understandable. I mean, you spent quite the pick on him. Mm-hmm. And as my ride or die this year, I really want him to play well. But no, if Joe Flacco plays and Jonathan Taylor's back, they win. And they win by a lot. But if Anthony Richardson is back and Jonathan Taylor is back, let's just hope Jonathan Taylor has a good game.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'll say. Seahawks and Falcons. I don't see the Seahawks bouncing back. I see Kirko throwing it.
I do too.
Delivering it.
I got Falcons.
Let's see Kyle Pitts do well. Come on, I'm starting you this week, buddy. Let's do it. Texans and Packers. Packers. I have Packers. Even though CJ, I love Stroud.
Who's at home?
It's in Lambeau. Jordan Love is good. I was a guy who didn't think that Jordan Love was that good. I didn't see the appeal. I was very wrong. I think they're going to stay hot. I think the Packers will win. I wouldn't be upset if Texans won either, though. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a big scoring game. I think I would bet the over if I could bet.
All right, so like both teams scoring high?
Like the total score, yeah, whatever.
Ooh, oh, that would be so great.
I think they both score in the 20s, at least. I think I'm going to go Houston.
Bengals and Browns. We don't even really have to talk about it, but Bengals.
Yeah.
Yep. If I was the Browns, I would be packing up.
Just get rid
moving
of
out of state.
Deshaun should retire. It's over, dude.
Yep.
They should have kept Flacco for another season.
Yeah.
Just benched Deshaun. Nobody wants him. It's going to be a bad look for any franchise if they do take him.
The massage therapists don't even want him.
No. He's a disgrace. Fuck him.
Over, under, the pants. Over or under, it doesn't matter. Nobody wants you. You have to have one you've got to have one moment of debauchery every week, folks. That's what we do here. The Eagles and the Giants. I'm having a hot take. The Giants win at home.
I think I'm going to go Eagles. They're not the same Eagles that they were last year.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. I think they just beat the Browns this week, right? By 3.
They won by 4.
4, yeah, okay.
Oh, ew.
They did not look good.
Damn,
I think they're still a solid team, but not.
They need to pick me up.
They're not who they were. Yeah, I got Eagles though.
Raiders and Rams. I like an underdog. Raiders.
Max Crosby's the only thing making me want to pick the Raiders.
Pick them.
Who's at home? Who's at home?
The Rams.
I'm going Rams.
Kyron Williams will probably run it down their throat, honestly. Panthers and Commanders. For the rest of the year.
Does anyone care about that game?
No, for the rest of the year, and I love Washington this year. I'm picking the Panthers for the rest of the year because Ben said if they get 6 wins, he will get a tattoo of their logo on him.
That's right.
And I want that to happen, so I'm picking Panthers. Washington is at home.
I mean, as much as I want it to happen, I don't think it's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Jets at Steelers.
I'm going Jets.
I'm going Steelers.
Ooh.
TJ Watt.
Yeah.
That offensive line doesn't exist. That boy is going to feast.
But Devontae Adams.
If the Steelers are smart and they decide that Russell Wilson isn't coming in this week, they win. If the Steelers are dumb and they decide Russell is indeed starting this week,
I don't think they plan on starting him. I believe Justin Fields.
They had said that they're thinking about it.
Why?
Yeah, man.
They're doing good with Fields.
They're too good. Yeah. Chargers and the Cardinals. I don't care. I hate that I'm saying that, but I don't care. Marvin Harrison Jr. is questionable. Kyler can't throw the damn ball right now to him. And Justin Herbert's putting up bad numbers this year.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. I love Justin Herbert.
Me too, man. Me too.
Chargers are one of my probably like my number 3 team that I like to watch.
They're a team I enjoy.
I like to see them win. I don't know.
I enjoyed them so much more last year when Austin Eckler was on the team.
And Keenan Allen.
Allen. They were good last year. Sad. Definitive. I'm going with the Cardinals, but I honestly don't care.
I think the Chargers might get it. I think they'll get it. Is that at Chargers?
No, it's in Arizona. Yeah.
I'm going Arizona. I'm going Arizona then.
Now a game that you might want to touch on. The Ravens and the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay.
I think they're going to keep this streak going for a while. Actually,
I hope so.
It's crazy to think that they are 4-2 because the two teams that they lost to, I mean, the Chiefs were one, and it was a very close game. Obviously, a toe, and then the Raiders was their first fluke of the season. So they really should be 5-1 against really good teams.
The Cowboys really
I say
Cowboys.
Dallas is a good team. No, they're
Cowboys
not.
should really be 1-5. And then the game I have been waiting for all year. No, I did not mark it down on the calendar, but if I was a player, I sure would. The Super Bowl rematch. Kansas City goes into San Francisco where they lose really, really bad to Brock Purdy. He's going to keep it going, and they're going to dethrone the 5-0 fucking Chiefs. Fuck them. Fuck. This is what's making the podcast be age restricted. Fuck Patrick Mahomes and his fucking Kermit the fucking frog ass motherfucking voice. And this is so far at the end of the podcast that if people are still watching, they're not going to turn it off over being upset. Fuck him. Anyways, rant done.
I think I'm going to go with the 49ers too. I mean, I don't think the Chiefs are going to go undefeated, and who better to beat them than who they beat last year in the Super Bowl.
I really hope so.
At their home stadium too.
Realistically speaking, not total brutal meltdown speaking, the Chiefs they're good. They're not great.
They're good.
They're beatable. They're beatable this year. That's going to be where we wrap it up because you know what? It's Maine for me and it's Texas for Blake, and it's not as late for Blake, but it's 9:32 for me. And I'm old. I'm 30 now. So this is where we're going to finish it off. I've been Justin, that's Blake. This is Backfield Breakdown. Week 7 coming down the pipeline. Things are heating up.
The season is here.
We're going to change it up this week.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Drink some fluids. Tip everybody who happens to be a service worker that has a tip jar next to them. And let's tailgate with other people. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good week 7. Goodbye.
What?